imagery in general could be just a little bit less, yeah, problematic. The main character, Ryuko, who she is pretty much of a badass when they let her be. She could end up like, you know, cowering in a corner helpless a little bit less often for my money. But, nope. Okay. But it's great to look at. It's funny to look at. And I keep hoping that it's like going somewhere in the long term, since, you know, this squish, elaborate squish, that'll be an episode title if I remember. You know, since Gurren Lagann did just have this tremendous scope that I never would have expected. Well, not all of it anyway, since the preview at the beginning of episode 1, besides ending up being inaccurate as things often do, also only really captured the midpoint of the story and not the final version. Or not the final chapter, that is. I would love, if I ever get a chance, I would love to ask the creators of Gurren Lagann if, of all things, and hear me out on this, Katamari Damacy had been an influence. Because Katamari Damacy has that same kind of scope thing going on, where it starts very, very small and then ends up dealing with planets, stars, galaxies. Damn you. So, and okay, I'd really like to kill you now. Well, the pirouette is at least does at least seem to give you a burst of speed, which pretty useful. Now let me get some distance from them in case they're chasing me. Okay, come on, up there, up there. Squish. I don't know how they can squish through one another, but such are the mysteries of the Titans. I'd much rather be fighting the Zeta Gundam Titans. At least they had cool mobile suits and clothes. Seriously, the Titans' uniforms were pretty slick, but well, I sailed right past. That's something. Okay. You, sir. Went right, sailing right past him, too. And him, but again, graceful pirouette, so 1, 2, yeah, it's all when you release the catch. Again, kind of like Bionic Commando. Okay, it's one of those creeps. I'll go over here now. Faster, please. There we go. Oh, geez, he's still right behind me. They're obnoxiously fast, and there he is. If you're gonna jump, do it. There. There was use of the pirouette. Excellent. And 2 Titans makes this my record for the day. I think 3 is still my all-time record, so could I go over there, especially before he jumps on me? That's 3. And I didn't get squished by some small squishy miracle. It's a miracle of squish day. That was not a miracle of squish day. And I am certain that the Titans, whatever organization they may have here, they must all have a holiday like Squish Day. How could they not? That was nice. Very smooth. Let's see if I can get close enough to that guy. That's closer than I wanted to be, actually. Let's go this way. Oh. Okay, let's try this again. Okay. This way. Good. Out of the way. Oh, go away. Okay. Hi! Nope. Okay, it looks like it adds Titans back in, but does not actually affect where they were when you hit the restart button. Well, he didn't get me, at least. I sadly have also not gotten him. That worked somehow. And then he fell on me. Oh no, the other one got me. Good. It would be kind of sucks if they could kill you by falling on you. Except, you know, the jumpy ones where that's the point. I know there is an official Attack on Titan game being made, at least one. I think it's by Chunsoft, who were some of the earlier developers on Dragon Quest and makers of the Mystery Dungeon series, another long favorite of mine. On Flailthroughs, the website, flailthroughs.blogspot.com, one of my first, like, full words and photos Flailthroughs was of Tornico's Mystery Dungeon, aka Talon from Dragon Quest IV. Mystery Dungeon games are great. If you have a DS or 3DS, Shiren the Wanderer is pretty cheap. Whoa, 669. That's got to be a new high score. But yeah, Shiren the Wanderer is great. There's a version for the Wii as well. For the PlayStation, if you have the PS3, there's a variety of PS1 Mystery Dungeon games you can play. There's Tornico the Last Hope, which is the sequel to Tornico's Mystery Dungeon. Let's get away. Because these guys are going to kill me if I don't. They may kill me anyway, but I'm not going to make it easy. Or try not to. Chocobo's Dungeon, I believe, was, if it's not, if that one was not an actual Mystery Dungeon game, it was very close. One that is not an official Mystery Dungeon game, but is excellent and weird, is a Konami game called Azure Dreams. Very similar setup, but you have like a Pokemon-type pet you can take into the dungeon with you. And also, it's got a little bit of a dating sim built into it, of all things. There are various characters that you can romance as you go through the game, including one of the guys, but I'm not sure, but I believe that option was removed for the US version. I'll have to double check that sometime, but excellent game. There are probably more Mystery Dungeon games that came out in the US that I'm forgetting. Got one. Okay. I think that makes 2 for this run so far. Now let's get away. But there is also one of the only 3D ones based on Tower of Draga for the PS2. That's pretty good. I'm certain there have been more. I mean, in Japan there have been plenty more. There's a couple more Dragon Quest Mystery Dungeon games, one based on Dragon Quest VIII where you play Yangus as a kid. That was a lucky miss. Let's go away. Okay. This looks like Good target. That's 3. Tied for my best. And being pursued relentlessly. Will you relent? You don't hear relent very often anymore. You hear relentless, but you never actually hear the relent. It's a shame. It's a good word. I like it. It has relentoflavin. Oh, it's one of those. Squish. Damn it. Squish, damn it. There's one right by me. Well, didn't kill it, didn't get killed. That didn't work either. It's time to leave. Yes. Yeah, it looks like the double launch, the double leads work a little bit better for quick getaways. I'll have to remember that. But yeah, I dig mystery dungeons. Again, since I have a PS2 by my desk now, I pulled out Tornico the Last Hope again recently. That was nice. Because again, mystery dungeon fan, Dragon Quest fan, Talon fan, so it's basically a game that was made entirely for me. If you've never played Dragon Quest, I don't think I can quite explain how revolutionary Tornico/Talon's chapter felt back when it came out in like 93. It was one of the first RPGs, one of the first sections of RPGs, Dragon Quest IV Chapter 3, that was not specifically about killing a specific enemy or, something like that. The plot of Chapter 3 is that Tornico wants to be the world's best weapon merchant. And he is currently working a dead-end job in a weapon store in a small town, and decides to set out on his own and forage for what the items he needs by killing monsters. And the ultimate goal of the section is not to kill anything specific. It's to get, like, the centerpiece of the thing is to get specific gear together for the King of Endor's army. Squish. And you do ultimately end up, I believe, going into a dungeon and saving somebody, but yeah, the whole point of the thing is more about Talon becoming a good merchant, filling these orders for people, and it's one of the first games I ever played that just had an emphasis on just a daily routine. You wake up every morning and you decide whether to go work in the weapons store or go out and forage for stuff for yourself. Every morning, Talon's wife gives him a lunch to take with him. It sounds, like many such things, it sounds less interesting than it actually is, but the fact that this was just showing ordinary life in an RPG, which up to that point, nobody had actually done, Talon in any other game would have been an NPC. That's what makes Dragon Quest IV special. And then, when you get to the last chapter, when the hero has drawn all the groups together, Talon not only has the powers of a merchant, but the powers of a jester. So, at any time, he may just tell a bad joke and make the enemies fall over laughing and give you an opportunity to hit them. He may call an army of merchants to help him fight. He may trip, have a weapon fall out of his sack, and kill the enemy with a critical hit. That was the other thing about Dragon Quest IV. In Chapter 5, you only controlled the hero directly. All these other characters that you'd collected in the original game were all by AI. So, basically, because of that, because the game, did not bother with too much dialogue for each of those characters when you were playing their chapter, because Dragon Quest doesn't. A lot of their personalities in your mind become defined by their AI behaviors. And oops. And Talon was just a neat guy. And again, a character you're not going to, up to that point, you would not have seen in any other RPG. And apparently Japan loved him too because, yeah, he has been in 3, I believe, Mystery Dungeon games of his own. He has shown up in most of the spin-offs, Fortune Street and some of the other Dragon Quest spin-offs. He's a guest in Dragon Quest 9 that you can get to show up at your inn. He is one of the more enduring characters of Dragon Quest. And he's this fat guy who sells swords. Squish. And that to me is one of the things that I like about Dragon Quest, the fact that, it worked in a very traditional RPG format, like the traditional RPG format, since it was like the first mega best-selling console RPG. But it does things with character and story that others don't. You're not going to squish. You're not going to find chubby weapon sellers as the main characters of other games very often. Sometimes, and especially not in a way that makes them, yes, funny and comic relief, but also basically admirable people, and in the Mystery Dungeon games, indisputably the hero of the piece. Whoa. And I have always liked that. So, yeah, that's one of the many reasons I have a soft spot for Dragon Quest right there. I wish Dragon Quest XI would get some kind of release outside of Japan. Yes, it's an MMO. Yes, it has a monthly fee. I'd probably play it at least for a little while. There was a demo a while back. I tried it some, but just for whatever reason, just didn't have the patience. I think I was working on other things with my computer at the time and didn't have time to really get into it. Also, since I knew that I would not be able to do the online bits when the time came, I didn't put a lot of effort into it. Would you die? Well, I don't know how I didn't get eaten. I really don't. Well, launched me. Appreciate that. Let's go this way. But